Welcome back, everybody, to the Westlake Hornets Team Builder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. Today is the beginning of the end of sorts as we kick off Season 16, the final season of the Westlake Dynasty. I know it's a little bit bittersweet that this is it, but we've still got another big season of football to get through, and that starts today against the Utah State Aggies. This Westlake team looks quite a bit different from the squad that won a national championship last season. A lot of key losses, most notably the man who should have won the Heisman Trophy and running back Isaiah Sparks. A lot of other big-name players have entered the NFL, and of course, quarterback C.C. Vaughn is transferred to UCLA. Anthony Cortez III will be the permanent starting quarterback going forward. There are a lot of key returners and a lot of new starters as well. I think the main guys to watch here are on defense in true freshmen Khalil Onabanjo and Joko Nwosu. Can't forget about the number one player in his high school class and wide receiver Isaiah Thomas III as well. He'll be making his college debut. So let's get it underway. The number 2, why they are ranked 2, I don't know. Westlake Hornets taking on the Utah State Aggies as we kick off Season 16, the final season of the series. Westlake is not in the Pac-12 conference this year. They are in the Independence. So no conference this year for Westlake as Zebediah Phoenix II, the senior kicker, will be on to kick this one off, and we are underway. Season 16 of the Westlake Dynasty is finally here, as it's a solid return, and the Utah State Aggies will start this one on offense. Westlake only lost 3 starters on defense, but 3 of the best players on the unit last season in Richard Rivers Jr., Joe Lilly, and Shanir Dabudga. Bennett starts this one off with a pass. It's going to be a short dump off in the hands of Ryan. Ryan with a nice play. He's pushed down by a trio of juniors. Justin Graves, Brandon Ralph, and Florentino Phoenix, all 3 of whom will have to step up. They are now the elder statesmen of the secondary. Look at that hit by the true freshman, Joko Nwosu, the brother of Jaguars quarterback Koko Nwosu. Joko Nwosu is not supposed to start this year, but with Shanir Dabudga declaring for the NFL draft, that's where Nwosu slides in, and that's why he's starting as a true freshman. 3rd and 8, Bennett with a nice throw over to Jordan, pushed down by Brandon Ralph. Ralph will remain as the nickel corner this year, where he excelled last season, particularly the second half of last season. Up the middle there for Nunez. So far, so good for the Utah State defense. Nice tackle by Lubert's Roy. Roy has switched his jersey number from number 45 to number 2. Speaking of Roy, he gets the hit there. A lot of Westlake players have changed their jersey numbers, as you'll see throughout today's video. 3rd and 2 now for the Aggies. Russell Ingram gets toyed with on that play, and Scott Bennett runs for the first down, and the Utah State offense is really looking good so far. Westlake's defense was surprisingly impressive last year with 10 underclassmen, but today, they don't look all that impressive. There's Jordan. He only gets a yard. Brandon Ralph brings him down, and Utah State will be forced to kick the field goal. This is a chip shot, no more than around 25 yards, and it is good. So the Aggies start this one up first. They lead 3-0. Here's the Westlake offense. Matt Miller will have to be the main ball carrier. He's wearing number 8 this season, and he will be replacing Isaiah Sparks. Tazwell Hubbard will also have a big role out of the backfield, and of course, Anthony Cortez III will be the permanent starting quarterback this season as he gets into the redshirt freshman Isaiah Thomas III. Really excited to see what IT3 can do. As I said, number 1 player in his high school recruiting class, and he has some big shoes to fill with guys like Cassius Troy and Tegan Moon now in the NFL. 3rd and 4, Cortez scrambling, gets it back to IT3 for the first down. Last year's team was a run-first squad with guys like Isaiah Sparks, Irving Porter, but with those 2 gone, this team's going to be a little bit more pass-happy, but still a lot of runs. Look at Tazwell Hubbard. His first carry of the season will go for a long touchdown run, and the Hornets will take the lead. Although Matt Miller will probably be the lead runner this year, Tazwell Hubbard's going to have a really big role on the offense. He had a few splash runs last year. I'm excited what he can do with a much bigger role. But the Aggies' offense is really looking good too. Both offenses have been impressive thus far, with a minute 48 to go in the first quarter. Westlake's defense lost 3 of their best players, but I would have expected them to look a little bit better. 3rd and 9, nice play by Vlad Van Vector. The redshirt freshman wearing number 69. Nice. Formerly worn by Richard Rivers Jr. as the running back Adam Foster loses 2 on the screen. So Utah State's going to go for the long field goal here. This one is from about 51 yards, but there's a flag. False start on the Aggies. They will be forced to move back 5 yards, and now they're going to choose to punt it. So that false start call ended up being a really big deal. Utah State appears to have a good kicker. I'm confident he could have possibly made it from 51, but instead Westlake gets it back. Tazewell Hubbard starts the drive with a rock. He loses 2. Certainly a major difference from his previous big run. Franklin Ellis brings him down. It's now 2nd and 12 for the Hornets. AC3 with a nice play for Kadarius Franklin. Franklin's going to have a bigger role in the offense, now a junior. He's going to be the main slot receiver this season. Matt Miller with the handoff on 1st and 10. He gets 13 yards. Matt Miller was Westlake's second best runner last year behind Isaiah Sparks. Now finally is the lead back. I'm really curious to see what Matt Miller does. He might be the best player on the offense this year. There's senior Noah Cox with a nice play. Cox has gotten playing time sparingly so far in his career, but he's going to be wide receiver 4 on the depth chart. And wide receiver 4 for Westlake has a really important role. First down, there's Matt Miller nearing the end of the first quarter with a nice play after the catch. He gets 19 yards. That'll do it for the first quarter. Westlake's offense is looking really good. They only have 7 points, but they do have it inside the 10. The defense, not great. They've only allowed 3, but Utah State has moved the ball well on both drives. So here's the first play of the second quarter. Can Westlake punch it in? The answer is yes. Isaiah Thomas III, the freshman, with his first of many touchdown receptions. I think Isaiah Thomas here has the chance to be the next great Westlake receiver, following in the footsteps of guys like Cortez Thorne, Nigel Wiggins, Carter Westwood. I think IT3 might be the next elite #1 Westlake wideout. So now it's 14-3. That was just awful coverage by Gordon Waters-Key. Look at Foster inside of the 20, wrapped up by the true freshman cornerback Khalil Onabanjo. He was also supposed to be redshirted this year, but with Joe Lilly declaring, Joe Lilly needs a replacement. There's Pratt with a nice play, has blocks into the end zone for a Utah State touchdown. Westlake's defense is looking shaky. I'm not trying to overreact. We're in the first half of week 1. But Westlake has to play Michigan next week. Michigan is a much different task than Utah State. So the Hornets need to look a little bit better on defense for the Hornets to be confident going into that game. AC3 loses 2 on the run. Now it's 3rd and 4. Westlake has been perfect on 3rd downs today, and it appears that they will keep that streak alive. Nice run for AC3, who was the only quarterback on the entire roster with CeCe Vaughn transferring. Cortez's backups are Chet Kucharski and Damian Purcell, who both played QB in high school and are currently wide receivers. So moral of the story, AC3 cannot get hurt. 2nd and 2, deep ball for Mo Rogers, who dives into the end zone for a 55-yard Westlake touchdown. What a play by Maurice Rogers, who as a starter last year only had 1 touchdown reception. That came in the national championship, and now he gets one here. A dart from Anthony Cortez III, who's going to have a lot more deep passes last year. Cortez was very conservative at times. He's going to have to be a lot more aggressive with guys like Isaiah Sparks gone, who Cortez would have previously leaned on last year. 25 yards there for Bruce Nunez, and Westlake's defense still is really not looking good. Bennett gonna keep it himself. There goes Scott Bennett, pushed down by the senior Sheldon House. House and Vlad Van Vector will rotate as the second defensive tackle behind Noel Payne. And now it's 3rd and 5 at the 25. Bennett looking to throw it. Can they get another first down? They do. It's Poole. Justin Graves tried to jump a route. He was unsuccessful. Graves had a solid season last year, but he was really bad in the national championship. And so far today, he has not looked much better. 3rd and 2, Bennett tosses it for Foster. Touchdown, Utah State. With 3.5 minutes in the first half, I did not expect this to be a 4-point game. And if you bet on this game, I really hope for your sake you took the over, because both offenses have been really good. Cortez tosses it on the option for Tazewell Hubbard with a nice first down run. Hubbard, the redshirt sophomore from Burmester High, has gotten off to a really good start in today's game. He's been better than Matt Miller so far. First down, Cortez scrambling, taking a shot downfield for IT3. Isaiah Thomas III with his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. The plan for AC3 was for him to be more aggressive this season, and so far he's done exactly that. He's thrown 2 deep balls today, both of them a little bit underthrown, but both of them were caught for touchdowns, so it really doesn't matter. It is now 28-17. Although Westlake's defense has been shaky, the offense looks great. 3rd and 7, Bennett is sacked by Jabari Achabe. Achabe had 15 sacks last year, which led the nation. He's only a true sophomore. It's going to be crazy to see what he does this year and going forward. Can the Hornets make it a 3-possession game going into halftime? AC3 with the stutter step. He goes out of bounds with 1:14 to go. Westlake's offense continuing to just have no issues so far, and Utah State's had no answer. Cortez, no time to throw it there. He gets sacked. Probably the first good play by Utah State's defense all day, and it is now 2nd and 15 for the Hornets. Cortez looking to throw it. He gets it to Isaiah Thomas III, who gets the first down. IT3's been really good today. He's wearing that number 1, which Isaiah Sparks wore last year. Certainly some tough shoes to fill wearing that number 1 jersey. 2nd and 7, down to 35 seconds now. Cortez again scrambling. Short throw for Tommy Taco, the redshirt freshman. Taco is built like someone who only eats tacos. He's a very thick human being. Let's just put it that way. Look at the clock. There's only 13 seconds left. Westlake does not have a lot of time. Cortez under a load of pressure, somehow going to escape it, and he will run for the first down with 6 seconds to go. Westlake will call time, and they will send the field goal unit on. A chip shot for Zebediah Phoenix. It's good. That'll make it 31-17 with 3 seconds to go in the half. Zebediah Phoenix really struggled early on last year, but he did not miss a kick the final 6 games of the season. That'll do it for the first half. 31-17 your score in favor of Westlake. The offense has been flawless. I mean, AC3's been great. The running backs have been great. Matt Miller hasn't been all that spectacular, but everyone's really playing well. The defense, let's just say they're lucky that Utah State has only scored 17. 2nd and 2. Here goes Tazwell Hubbard on the toss. Hubbard has blocks down the field. Nobody's going to catch him. What a start to the season from a redshirt sophomore, Tazwell Hubbard, who has looked incredible thus far. I don't want to overreact, but this might be the Tazwell Hubbard show in the backfield this year rather than Matt Miller. Hubbard has been a machine thus far, and it's now 38-21. As long as Westlake can keep a comfortable lead, I imagine we will see some of the younger backups in the game as this one goes on. 2nd and 10 for Utah State. There's Jordan pushed out of bounds by Ralph and Onobanjo. Ralph still wearing the number 21. Khalil Onobanjo, meanwhile, wearing number 12. As on first down, there's Poole. Runs right by Onobanjo and is hit hard by Brandon Ralph. It's been a pretty rough debut for Khalil Onobanjo so far. I don't want to overreact. He's a true freshman corner, but Utah State has been picking on him so far. 2nd and 11, it's a toss for Foster, and he is hit hard by Florentino Phoenix, who was responsible for that big fumble in the 4th quarter in the national championship last year. He's going to have to step up as one of the leaders on this defense this year. 3rd and 13, Bennett looking for the end zone. He's intercepted! The true freshman, Joko Onwosu, picks it off. Onwosu has nothing but green grass ahead as the lineman will not catch him. A 100-yard pick six in the debut of Joko Onwosu, and Westlake is now up by 28. What a great play by Onwosu. That wasn't even that bad of a throw. Just an awesome play by Joko to jump the route, get the interception. Although Westlake's defense has not been impressive today, Joko Onwosu's been really good so far, and it is now 45-17. The starters do remain in. Bennett on 3rd down launching a bomb, and it is caught by Eric Williams. Another bad play for Khalil Onobanjo, and Utah State's offense is really having themselves another great drive. They only have 17 points, but had they scored on all the possessions where they were close to scoring or only got a field goal, this game would be a lot closer. There's a nice tackle by Winston Johnson, now a junior. He's also going to have to step up as one of the leaders on this defense. 2nd and 13 for the Aggies. Bennett, short throw for Nunez. Nunez has had a few really nice slants today. He's been very impressive so far for Utah State. The Aggies with another nice drive here, gearing towards the red zone as it's Foster. Gets by Phoenix and goes inside the 5. A nice gain of 15 for Adam Foster. And Utah State's offense is continuing to just play really well. 1st and goal. Bennett under pressure. What a sack by the sophomore Lou Burtz-Roy, who had an awesome true freshman season last year, especially in the first half of the year. He kind of slowed down a little bit towards the end, but he was still really good last year. One of the best linebackers in the country. 3rd and goal. Bennett going for the end zone. What a catch by David Poole. That wasn't even awful defense by Justin Graves. That was just a really nice catch. Graves attempted to jar the ball out. He was unsuccessful. And it is a 21-point game. Utah State's really fought today, but Westlake just has more talent, and it showed. I don't know what AC3 was doing there. He tossed it to Miller, who lost 6. That wasn't even Matt Miller's fault. AC3 could have gained positive yardage there. I don't know why he didn't keep it. A few plays later, it's first down for the Hornets. Cortez under a lot of pressure, going up the middle for Kadarius Franklin. Franklin down the field. What a tackle. That should have been a touchdown. Nobody's catching Kadarius Franklin in a foot race. Well, except for that guy. He brings him down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Under 30 seconds to go in the quarter, it's a handoff from Matt Miller. Miller's just going to run around the defender, and he will get the touchdown, and the Hornets will extend their lead. They're up by 28 with 20 seconds in the third quarter. I think it's time to put some of the backups in. Now, there are still some starters in, particularly on defense, particularly in the secondary, because a lot of defensive backs have a lot to prove right now. But there are a mixture of backups and starters still in. That pass is intercepted by Michael Hopkins, and that'll do it for the third quarter. 24-52, Westlake comfortably leads. The defense looked a little bit better in this quarter. 2 really nice interceptions. And both of the interceptions weren't just lucky plays by the defense. They were really nice grabs by Onwusu and Hopkins. So Chet Kucharski is now in at quarterback. He was nicknamed Vanilla Fleming in high school, getting comparisons to Keith Fleming's skill set. Kucharski will not play quarterback mainly in college, unlike Keith Fleming, but we'll see what he can do. Westlake is trying to run the ball down the field. Here's Tommy Taco on 2nd and 6. What a move by the tiny Tommy Taco, a former 5-star. He was a top 5 player in his recruiting class, the same class that featured Isaiah Thomas III. Now 2nd and goal. Kucharski's had a pretty rough game throwing the ball. That's his first completion, and it goes for a loss of 4 to Taco. Chet Kucharski's throwing attributes are fine. I mean, he was a talented quarterback in high school, one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Utah, but he's just not throwing it well. 3rd and goal. See what I mean? Just not good. That was the first 3rd down conversion that Westlake did not successfully get today. That's how good the offense has been. The field goal unit returns another chip shot for Zebediah Phoenix. He does sometimes struggle with the hashes, but not that time. That kick goes right down the middle. 55-24, Westlake up. Utah State has it back. Bennett on 2nd and 6 is brought down. They're going to give that sack to Russell Ingram Jr., although there were a few defenders in the area. Russell Ingram, in the past 5 seconds, has the same amount of sacks that he had in all of last year, which is 1. Russell Ingram was not great last year. He was solid as a run defender. Hopefully he can improve this year as a pass rusher. 3rd and 12, deep ball. It's intercepted again. There's Khalil Onobanjo making a play. Onobanjo did a great job of tracking the ball. He also gets a nice return inside the 40. And quarterback Scott Bennett, who was great in the first half, is starting to get careless. He's thrown 3 interceptions in the second half, albeit all 3 of them were really good defensive plays. Now Damian Purcell is in at quarterback. Purcell also was a QB in high school as he gets sacked by Justin Brown for a loss of 9. Both Kucharski and Purcell are backup receivers. Purcell currently a sophomore, Kucharski a freshman. Is on 3rd and 9. There's Tazwell Hubbard for the first down. We're getting to see more Tommy Taco in the fourth quarter, but Tazwell Hubbard and Matt Miller are still getting a majority of the touches. Taco is in the game here on 2nd and goal as Purcell. He will connect with the tight end, Lamar Gallagher, this senior, for the touchdown. Gallagher wearing number 11 this year, and it is now 62-24. That was Lamar Gallagher's first catch of the entire game. Gallagher had a pretty good season last year, but today he's been rather quiet. Utah State has it back, 3rd and 2. Bennett looking to throw it. It is somehow caught by George Pratt. I don't know why Justin Graves did not try to play for the ball there, but whatever. Okay. Down to a minute 12 now in this game. 2nd and 10 for Utah State. Bennett looking to throw it. He has time, now under a little bit of pressure, and he is sacked by the redshirt sophomore, Jacob Williams. Williams was a JUCO walk-on a few years back, but I really like his skill set. I think he can had the potential to be the best walk-on in school history, which doesn't say a lot because there weren't many good ones, but Jacob Williams is really, really talented. Third down, there's another sack for Russell Ingram Jr., his second in the game. Ingram has more sacks today than he did in the entire season 15, so it's good to see that Ingram is back at getting the quarterback. He had 8 sacks as a freshman before his poor season last year. That'll do it for this one. 24-62 is your final. A good win for Westlake. Offensively, the team was flawless. Anthony Cortez, the third and 3 quarters, was really impressive. Nearly 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Damian Purcell was good. Chet Kucharski, not as much. The run game was really solid. Tazwell Hubbard was a beast in this one. Matt Miller was pretty good too. Isaiah Thomas was our best receiver. He was really impressive. And then the defense, they allowed a lot of yards. They struggled in the first half. They picked it up in the second half. We sent a lot more pressure, and we forced 3 turnovers. So I think really once more of the backups came in is when we started to play better on defense. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but we played better when half of our backups were on the field. So, I don't know. I find that kind of odd. Next week, we will have a national championship rematch. The top 2 teams in the nation, Westlake and Michigan. It's a neutral site game as well. Michigan is a new quarterback, a true freshman by the name of Loco Onwosu. I think he can put the dots together on that one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.